Back to PennLive.com, doing some more Penn State recruiting here. I'm Dustin Hawkinsmith with Greg Pickle. The subject of this one is just looking and assessing Penn State's chances of getting the #1 class in the 2018 class. I would say that's not probable, but Penn State's in a pretty unique position here. 13 commitments on board, number 5 overall. Last I checked on the 24/7 composite. And with a really good shot at 9 guys who are in the top 250 in the country. And when I say really good shot, I think better than average. Guys who are, Penn State might be a leader for them at the very least. Guys like Aisheem Young, PJ Mustipher, Jason Oweh, other guys like that. So the question is, where can Penn State finish? I know this is something that Penn State fans have thought a lot about ever since Penn State jumped into that #1 spot. And Penn State just, I'm going to read a couple numbers here. Since James Franklin arrived in 2014, the average rating of each player in the class has gone up every recruiting cycle to the point where it's a 91.36 now. And to put that into perspective, 88.8. These are numbers from 24/7 Sports. 88.8 in last year's class, was very good in its own right. This class has a chance to be exceptional. I don't know if you can keep pace with a program like Ohio State, but I'm not sure that it matters. I think that #1, #4, whatever. This is going to be James Franklin's best class. I think we can agree on that.
Yeah, no question about it. I think that when you look at it, the only one team gets to win a national championship, and you build with that momentum on the field. But off the field, you don't have to win the recruiting national championship to really be able to build off the momentum and put yourself in position to win on the field going forward. If you land in the top 5 year over year, it's proven out, even the top 10 for the most part, it's proven that you will have a chance to compete for conference titles and national titles going forward. So for Penn State, they have to keep this momentum up. And this is a class that I think can't hit #1, barring a recommitment from Micah Parsons. Landing all the guys Dustin mentioned, plus some others, Jahan Dotson, the wide receiver, Rasheed Walker, the 4-star offensive lineman, a couple of others too. If you can do that, you get Micah Parsons back in the fold, you have a shot. The problem is it's a math game, and without a 5-star, which Penn State currently does not have, it's difficult to get one of those classes that ends, #1, #2, or #3. I still think top 5 is very doable. Top 10, absolutely. It'd be very hard to see this class not finishing within the top 10 in the country, unless a bunch of other decommitments come, which does not seem likely at this point. The guys that were going to jump out have jumped out at this point. So I think the Lions look in great shape to land, in a very respectable spot. #1's probably out of reach, but you get Micah Parsons back in, maybe you get a surprise here or there. You can't rule it out whenever you're in that conversation in June.
I think elite is one of those things. Penn State, according to 24/7 Sports, the #3 and #4 players in the country have decommitted since April. So in the last 6 weeks or so, they've lost 2 top 5 players. Without those types of players, you're not really going to make a strong bid for #1. But with the amount of quantity and quality, they can take up to 25. I would expect them to take up to 25. And if the top 8 or 9 guys on the board who seem to be favoring Penn State all come in there, I think top 5 looks really, really strong. Top 10, you might be a little bit disappointed by that, but I think that is a lock by now. James Franklin's best class is forming right now in 2018 with a lot of really good leads out there to follow. That's Greg Pickle, and I'm Dustin Hawkins with talking Penn State recruiting for PennLive.com.